Are we ready for more? You guys making it through this crazy experience? We're about halfway almost now. Tomorrow's halfway point. Tomorrow is the last day to drop. Also, that reminds me. If you don't want to get a letter grade. All right. So, I don't know why it's not coming on the screen.
Oh, so how come the exam's on a Tuesday instead of the usual Thursday?
Yeah, well, all the exams, everything's listed on the last page. Yeah, last page of the syllabus, the whole schedule is there. Yeah, it's next Tuesday. That's right. It's exam number 2. Yeah, that was just a coincidence. First two happen to be on Thursdays. All right. So here we are. We're in 5.3, the big bad 5.3. It's a more challenging section here. Hope you're feeling alert here in the afternoon of Wednesday. Let's take a look. So, watch me first try to do it the old way and run into trouble. So, first off, 2x squared minus 11x minus 6. If I try to do it the old way, I would say, okay. Well, first off, what's in common? Is there something in common to all the terms? Does 2 go into all of them? No, 2 doesn't go into 11. Do they all have an x? No, the 6 doesn't have an x. So no, nothing in common. So no one big parenthesis. Skip that, go right to the 2, right? Okay. Now, in the 2, normally I just put an x and the x in the front. It's not going to work here, is it? Because you got to get 2x squared. We already see one of the key differences. Number in the front. That's the first indicator that this is going to be a hard trinomial, not an easy. The last section was entitled Easy Trinomials. These are the hard ones. The hard ones have numbers in the front. So I can't just go x to make 2x squared. I got to put a 2 on one of them. You with me? 2x times x makes 2x squared, right? We good? Good so far? Now, okay, that's all good. Okay, but let's go to the back. What multiplies to be 6? What times what is 6? Well, 2 and 3. And we go, okay, 2 and 3. Do those add? Remember, the middle term's adding, right? Do those add to be 11? 2 and 3? Not even close. Well, wait. Maybe there was another option. What else multiplies to be 6 other than 2 and 3? 1 and 6. 6 and 1. Does 6 and 1 add to be 11? Not even close. It's 7. So this one's not factorable. No, it is factorable. It's just more complex now. All right, so everybody see the old way is not going to work. Why? Because we have that number in the front. Well, isn't it still multiply at the back and add in the middle? Yes. Yes, it is. But it's not simple multiply and add now. What it is now is it's FOIL. Let's write the word FOIL, because really what we're doing is FOIL. So I'm going to write the word FOIL. And what that's there to remind us, remember FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. It's how you multiply 2 parentheses, first, outer, inner, last. So it means the first one in this parenthesis times the first one in that parenthesis, which is 2x squared. That's all good, right? 2x times x is 2x squared. And the last one in this parenthesis times the last one has to make the 6. What times what makes 6? Well, 2 times 3. Or 6 times 1. Let's try the 6 times 1. 6 and 1. Right, that makes 6. I know we got to get, I'm going to say the negative part of the negative 6 for a minute. Let's wait a minute. But those don't make 11. They're supposed to add to be negative 11. They don't do that. Well, it's not just 6 and 1 now. It's the whole OI. The O and the I. What do the O and the I of the word FOIL stand for? Yeah. It means outer with outer. Inner with inner. Right? That's what the middle term, when you multiply 2 parentheses, that's how you get the middle term. It's the outer one times the outer one and the inner one times the inner one. And then you combine those. So this is what? 6x, and the other 2 are 2x, and then those need to add. What are they supposed to make? Well, the middle is supposed to make minus 11x. Well, 6 and 2 don't make minus 11, right? So try switching them. See, now the order, man, remember I kept saying in the last section, the order doesn't matter, the order doesn't matter. Well, now the order on the back two matters. Why? Because the fronts are different. See, it used to be on the last section, all the fronts were just x and x. So who cares which one you were with? Didn't matter. But now one of them is a 2x and the other one's a regular x. So it matters what order you put those back two in. So now I switch them. I try again. What do the two inner ones make? 1x. Thank you. What do the two outer ones make? 2x and 6x. 12x. Now, can they make negative 11? Yeah. There it is. Sign in the middle. Sign on the bigger. 12 is bigger than the 1. Plus 1 minus 12 makes minus 11. Okay, that's great, but how do they get up in the parentheses? The top sign always goes straight up. The bottom one always goes to the back. There's the answer, the right answer. Let me walk through that with you again. See what we did there? So again, you write when you got a number in the front, these are the harder kind. Got to do FOIL. So first, outer, inner, last. Front times front, or first times first, makes first. Good. Last times that's 1 times, plus 1 times minus 6 does make minus 6. That's true. And the middle part's the hard part. That comes from OI, outer, outer, inner. So the two outer, 2x times 6, 12x. 1 times x, 1x. And it's got to be plus 1 minus 12 to make the middle minus 11, right? Sign in the middle, negative, goes on the bigger of these guys, goes on the 12. And then the signs, the top one always goes straight up, the bottom one always goes to the back. There it is. You got it. It's more complex. That good? Questions I can answer on that. These are the hard trinomials. Okay, let's. So we got 2w squared plus 9w plus 9. So factor that. So first off, is there something in common to all the terms? Do they all have a w? Do they all have a number that goes into them all? No. So skip the 1 parenthesis, go right to the 2. But you know it's going to be a harder one because you got a number in the front. So write FOIL. Take it from there. Front times front, right? So what are the fronts going to be to make 2w squared? 2w and regular w, right? Front times front makes front. 2w times regular w makes 2w squared. Keep going from there. Last times last to make 9. Right, do the F first. We did the F. Now do the L. Last times last to make 9. What times what makes 9? There's a couple options. 9 times 1 or 3 times 3. How do you know which one to try? Try the one closest together first. It's usually the numbers closer together instead of 9 and 1, which are 8 apart. It's probably 3 and 3. It's almost always the numbers closer together. So try 3 and 3. See if that's right. How do you know if that's right? By the way, no signs yet. Wait a minute for the signs. I mean, you could put them in if you want to, but it'd be easier to wait. So how do you know if that's right? Got to check the OI, the middle. You got to put the 2. Don't try to skip this. Don't try to skip this. Put the 2 middle. You got to put the happy face arcs on there. The 2 little happy face arcs. You got to put those on there. That's the only way to check the OI. The inner, outer, outer. Write those 2. Draw those 2. Please don't skip. Don't start skipping stuff. Your need is more carefulness, not less carefulness. You'll save time in the long run by being careful. So the 2 inner make 3W, right? What do the 2 outer make? What's 2W times 3? 6W. They're supposed to make the middle term plus 9W, do they? Yeah, they're perfect. Both plus. Put the signs in the parentheses, we're done. Here's our answer. That makes sense? See how they make the middle with the oi, the outer, outer, inner, inner? Makes 3W, 6W, 9W. Questions I can answer? Make sure you're doing these problems with me. Don't just copy these down. Actually do them. When I give you the do time, you need to think with me. You need to engage with me to learn these. These take time and effort. Don't just be copying down right now. Be engaging. Be trying to solve these problems. Anything I can answer on that one? Does that make sense? Am I good? Don't worry about copying down. There'll be okay. 12c squared plus 13c minus 35. So try that one. And what's in common? Let me help you. What's in common with all those terms? Nothing. They don't all have a number. There's no number that goes into 13. They don't all have a C. The last one doesn't have a C. So skip the one big parenthesis, go right to the 2. Now let me help you with the first step. You should be thinking FOIL, right? You should be thinking and write this. Please don't do less steps than I do. Not until you can get them right like 4 or 5 times in a row. Then start easing off. But don't like right away start writing only half of what I write. That's not even trying. Write everything I write and maybe more if you need extra notes too. FOIL. Write the word FOIL there. Write the word FOIL. And then realize what that means. F stands for what? The front here times the front there has to make that. What times what makes 12c squared? What multiplies to be 12? There's a few options. 6 times 2. No, 6 times 2. 3 times 4. 1 times 12. How do you know what you should start with? Which pair? 6 times 2, 3 times 4, 1 times 12. Which pair should I start with? 3 and 4. Why? Why them? Closest together. Close. They're only 1 apart. 6 and 2 are 4 apart. Remember, it's almost always the pair. Not always. I mean, every now and then it'll be something weird. But like 95% of the time, it's going to be, 19 out of every 20 questions, it's going to be the pair close. So do 4C, 3C. You could do the other order. You could put 3 first, then 4. It doesn't matter. The order on the first 2 doesn't matter, but the order on the back 2 will. Because now the back 2, somebody's going to be with a 4 and somebody's going to be with a 3. It'll matter. Does that make sense? The order on the first 2 doesn't matter, but the order on the back 2 does. So you take it from there. Try the next step. Try to focus on that 35. Now you need the back 2 to make the 35. Use your calculator. So if you're looking at 35, you're a little rusty on the times tables, use your calculator. Find out what multiplies to be 35. Stick it in the parentheses. And then actually do the happy faces. Do those happy face arcs. Find out what those numbers are. Let's work this out together. You have 1 hour. We have 1 hour to make you a lean, mean, foiling backwards machine. So what times what's 35?
7 and 5.
Yeah, 7 and 5. I'm going to do it wrong at first. I'll do it the other way. So I'm going to purposely do it wrong at first. Yeah. It's wrong. So I just wrote down no signs. Wait to do the pluses and the minuses till after you have the happy face arcs. It'd be a lot easier. There's too much to worry about. Put off the sign. Just write 7 and 5. I know we got to make it negative 35. We'll get to that. Wait till you have to have the little happy face arcs. So now this is wrong. I know because I'm doing it in my head because I've done 10 billion of these things. But if you're not sure, you just write them down at first and you think, well, how do I know if I'm right? Oi. It's all about the oi, which means what? Inner, outer, outer. So take out your calculator if you're rusty. If you don't know your times tables, you're a little rusty on some of those. See if it's right. 3 times 7 is 21c. 4 times 5 is 20c. Draw your line. Bring the middle down here. It's supposed to be plus 13c. Is there any way, now you're thinking like both plus, both minus, 1 plus, 1 minus. Is there any way to make a 20 into 21 come out 13? No. No way. That's not it. So what do? You don't give up. You swap the order on the back two. Remember? The order on the back two matters. It's going to change everything. So if you do the little happy face arcs and it's not coming out to do the oi, the outer, inner, the two happy face arcs is not making the middle, has no way to make the middle. It's impossible to make the middle. Then swap the order on the back two. Put the 5 here, the 7 there. Try it again. 15c, 28c. How can we make the middle? The middle is supposed to be plus 13c. Is there a way for a 28 and a 15 to make plus 13? Yeah. So we're getting on to it. Now I'll put in the pluses and the minuses. Now that I know my goal. Remember the middle. What's the sign in the middle? Goes on the bigger, right? Bigger. Plus 28 minus 15. Sign in the middle is plus. Plus goes in the bigger. Sign in the middle goes to the bigger. Plus 28 minus 15 is plus 13, right? Do you see that? And now, how do these little blue signs get back up? Remember the top one just bubbles up, blah, 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 straight up. The top one always just goes straight there, right? Minus 5 times 3 is minus 15. The other one has to go in the other spot.
So is the bigger number always going to be on the right side?
No. The right left thing can switch around.
Oh.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Is that good on that? So front times front's making front, last times last making last, and then the inner, outer, the two happy face arcs make the middle on that. So the middle is what's the part that got a lot more complex. Comes from the arcs. Questions I can answer? Like good, they're going to get uglier and worse and worse and worse. We have 1 hour. These get bad. So I hope you're working with me and gaining understanding throughout the hour. Okay. 4a squared plus 15a plus 9. So try that one. First off, what's in common to all the terms?
Nothing.
They don't all have a number. They don't all have an a. Nothing. So go right to the two parentheses. So write the word foil. Like that. So, front times front to be 4a squared. What should you try first? What times what makes 4a squared? You should try 2A, but it's not going to work. But so I just want to show you, sometimes it doesn't work. So this is a rare one. So 2A makes 4A squared. Turns out what's really going to work is 4A regular A. I just know that because I'm working out the possibilities. But 2A, and then let me show you that 2A doesn't work. What makes 9? 3 times 3, right? And then the 2 inner, the 2 outer for the middle oi, that'd be 6A. Do they make 15A in the middle? No way. 6 and 6 don't do that. Well, I can't switch the order. They're both 3s. That won't matter. So I could do a 9 and a 1. That's not going to work either. If you do 9 and 1, that's 18A and 2A. They're not going to make 15A either. So the problem is back. Am I going too quick? Do you see how nothing works with 2A? Right? I just with 2A, I tried 3, and 9, 1, and it didn't make the middle. Right? The two arcs, the inner, outer, those numbers are supposed to, with pluses or minuses or whatever, somehow make the middle, which is plus 15A. Not going to happen. So the problem is way back here with the 2A. It needs to be 4A regular A. Try again now. Now, so that'll work. Keep going. That will work. There is a way to make that work. Let's see if you can finish it from there. Because 4A times A is 4A squared. That makes the front also, doesn't it? Okay, and now last times last to make 9. What times what makes 9? Well, 3 and 3. Right? Now try the arcs. 3A in the middle, 12A at the back. Can that make plus 15? Yeah. Both positive. There it is. Everybody see it? That okay? So that makes the middle with the two arcs. The oi, outer, inner. No questions? Good. So 96 plus 8b minus 4b squared. Okay, so for what needs to happen first on this one? Remember from the last section, it's the same thing as the last section. What do we need to do first on this one? Reorder. It's out of order, huh? So let's reorder. So it's going to be remember when you move them around, you keep the sign in front of them.
So how do you know when to reorder?
Because you want highest power of the letter to lowest power. So now it's b squared, b to the first, no b at all.
Oh, okay, whereas the other ones were always higher powers, right? The
We're-
previous ones that we were doing,
Uh-huh.
those were just already ordered in the correct way, correct?
Well, I think we had to reorder 1 or 2, didn't we? I can't remember. Yeah. So basically, anytime they're out of order, you got to put them in order from highest power of the letter to lowest power of the letter to no letter at all. Good first. All right. So now what's the other question? So reorder first. Got it done. Remember, take their signs with them when you move them around. Reorder them. Now, next question. GCF. What's in common to all the terms?
4.
Yeah. This time we got something. Yeah. 4. You just calculate if you're not sure. 4 goes into 96. And 4 goes into 8. Yeah, and we got to do negative. What? Because the front's negative. Remember when I wrote that note in the last section? I said if there's a negative in the front, factor out -1. Well, I wrote that because you only do the -1 if there's nothing else in common. But here we have a 4 in common. So factor out a -4. That's our GCF. Remember that in the last section? When you factor out a negative, it's going to change all the signs. And you got to find the new number. So you got to do the 1 big parenthesis, and then we'll go to the 2 afterwards. It's going to be b squared minus 2b minus, no, not 16. What is it? 24, huh? Everybody good to there? So far, so good. Is that good so far? Took out the GCF. Now, you leave the GCF out there. And then do the two parentheses. Can you finish it from there now? So see all that stuff? Reorder, take out the GCF. Now finish it. So B's in the front. We're saying FOIL. Front times front, B times B is B squared. Last times last to be 24. What times was 24? 6 and 4, 4 and 6. Now, how do you know if that's right? We got to check the OI in the middle. The 2 inner, 6b. 2 outer, 4b. Can they make the middle, which is minus 2b? How can a 6 and a 4 make a minus 2? Sign in the middle? On the bigger. So the minus is on the 6. The plus on the 4, right? Minus 6 plus 4 is minus 2. So the minus is on the 6, plus is on the 4. And there we go. Are we good with all that? Getting the hang of all that?
So we have to bring down the negative 4 with it?
We do, yeah. The negative 4 is part of the answer. Whatever GCF you take out is part of the final answer. And everybody see why they decided to reorder. Then they had 4 in common, and the front was negative, so it was negative 4. Changed all the signs, changed the numbers. Finish it from there. All right. Hope you have some kind of calculator. These are messy. 24 b squared plus 44b minus 140. All right, try that one. First step. What's in common to all the terms? Look for it. So what's the GCF there?
4.
It's 4. Right? 4's the 2 goes in also, but the greatest number that goes in is 4. 4 is the biggest number. So take out a 4. So your first step should be to take out a 4 and put one big parenthesis. It's the GCF. Is that good to there? Take it from there. Now do the FOIL. So, and that 4 will stay in the front. Now do the 2 parentheses in the FOIL thing. So front times front to be front. What times what makes 6b squared? Yeah, 3 and 2. Now, it could be 6 times 1, but it's probably 3 times 2, because you know it's usually the numbers closer together. 3 and 2 are only 1 away from each other. 6 and 1 are 5 away from each other, right? So it's probably 3b, 2b, or 2b, 3b. Order on the first 2 doesn't matter, but the order on the back 2 does. You guys with me? See how I'm coming up with that? Making sense? Then last times last to make 35. What times what makes 35? 5 times 7. Yeah, you got to try both orders though. You can try 7 and 5, and that won't work. So try both orders. You got to do those happy face arcs, right? Got to do the happy face arcs, the inner, outer, outer, the oi. See if they make the middle, the plus 11b in the middle. No signs, no pluses or minuses until you have the happy face arcs first. First do the little happy face arcs. So 14 and 15, no way they can make 11, plus 11. Doesn't work, switch the order. Everybody see what I'm doing there? I tried the 7 and 5 in one order. Let's try them in the other. So now, what do we got? Now we got 10b, 21b. How can a 10 and a 21 make a plus 11? Yeah, sign in the middle, plus, goes on the bigger 21. Plus 21 minus 10 is plus 11, huh? Sign in the middle on the bigger, right? And where do the signs go from there? Oh, this is a good one to show you. When I say sign in the middle, sign on the bigger, I don't mean necessarily up here. I mean these two, bigger, right? When you have the happy face arcs, it's all about them. They're first. They're mainly. They're the point. So when I say sign in the middle, sign on the bigger, I don't mean the 5 and the 7. We're not even there yet. I mean, right here. That's the common thing. People go, oh, sign in the middle, somebody just put it in the big. Nope. Well, oh, actually, it turns out you're lucky. You're right. But yeah. But it may not always be that way. They may reverse by the time they go up. It's the bigger among these two. Turns out, yeah. So I made a big deal. I thought it was going to reverse on this one. It doesn't reverse. It usually doesn't. Anyway. So minus goes there, plus goes there. Right? The top one always goes straight up. So there we go. Is that okay? You guys getting these? Got 40 minutes left on these. How you doing? Anything I can answer? Okay. All right. Okay. So we've got 60 v squared minus 65v minus 175. All right, try that one. What's the first question we ask on every factoring problem? GCF. So what's in common? Is there something in common to all of them? What goes into all those? You know 5 does because look at the endings on the number. They end with a 0, 5, and a 5, so you know 5 goes in. So take your calculator, put a 5 in the front, and find out what you got. So 35. Yeah. All right, so there's the first step. Make sure you get that first step right. Now go for the 2 parentheses. So, let's see here. So FOIL. It's like most people have got it. So front times front to make 12v squared. That would be 4v, 3v. Probably 4 and 3 instead of 6 and 2, right? Or 1 and 12. So 4 and 3. Got that. Now do the last. So the last is supposed to be 35, negative, but we'll do the negative stuff later. 35. Well, there's 2 ways to do that. You could go 7 and 5 or 5 and 7. This is the wrong one. If I do these two, I get 21v and 20v. How can they make the middle minus 13v? No way. So switch the order. 5 here, 7 there. 5 here, 7 there. Try it yet again. The 2 inner are 15v, the 2 outer are 28v. How can they make minus 13? Yeah, sign that's in the middle, right, came from the middle. Not, yeah, from the middle. Goes on the bigger. 28's the bigger, huh? Sign in the middle goes on the bigger. So, right, the bigger is 28. He's bigger than 15. Sign in the middle goes on the bigger. Minus 28 plus 15 makes minus 13. Right? If you lose 28 bucks, gain 15, you lost 13. Now, how do they get up to the parentheses? Well, the top one just bubbles up, blah, 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 straight up. Bottom to the back, there it is. Is that good? You can always move the entire parentheses. That doesn't matter. You know, that's in other words, if you had the answer, I'll say or. If you had 3v minus 7, 4v plus 5. That's the same answer, right? Both those are the same thing. Is that good? Questions on that? Getting the hang of that? Anything I can answer? Okay, so 80 w squared minus 52w minus 60. All right, try that. What's in common to all the terms?
4.
The 4? Yeah, I think it is, huh? 4. Yeah, take out a 4. Don't skip that step. You always got to do that first or everything else is wrong. So you always got to ask yourself, is there something in common? And if there is, you got to take it out. GCF 4. And then the one big parenthesis. So then go into the 2. Now go to the 2 parentheses. So now do the 2 parentheses. You're thinking FOIL, right? Let me point out something to help. So 5W, 4W probably, right? For 20, you know what? Front times front to be 20. What times what's 20? 5 times 4. Probably 5 and 4 instead of 10 and 2 or 20 and 1. Probably 5 and 4. Now, for the, here's what I want to point out. With the last, 5 times 3 probably, right? To be 15. It's not going to be the 5 there. I don't think I've said this. Let me help. This will cut out some of your work. You're never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common, let alone the very same number. Let me say that again. I'm not even going to do the little happy face. I'm going to switch it and try the other option right away. No way that's the answer. How do I know? You're never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common, not even like a 5 and a 15, let alone the very same number. Why not? Why couldn't you have that? Well, because it would say it was plus or minus, whatever, doesn't matter. You're not going to have that. Why not? Well, because they would have a 5 in common. You could take out a 5. Well, so why? Is that the end of the world? Well, we did all the GCF on step 1. We took all the commonness out on step 1. There may not be commonness showing up later. It can't happen. Does that make sense? So don't even mess with those options. Y'all hearing me on that? You take out all the commonness on step 1, right? There cannot be commonness later. So it's not going to be, so when you're doing this, that really saves you some work a lot of times. When you're looking, okay, I think it's 5 times 3, go, well, if it is 5 and 3, the 5 doesn't go with the 5, it's the other order. So if it is 5 and 3, the 3 goes here and the 5 goes there, huh? That's the only way it could be. So try that one. Try the oi. So the 2 inner, 12, the 2 outer, 25. Can they make the middle? What's the middle? Minus 13. Sign in the middle always goes on the bigger number. Right? Plus 12 minus 25 makes minus 13. This sign goes straight up. The bottom one goes back. And there we go. Questions on that? Are we good? He's getting easier? Making sense? No questions? All right. Okay, so 14b cubed minus 23b squared plus 8b. Let's try that one. Let me help. So as you look up there, what's the first step? GCF. The GCF is B. Just B. There's no numbers, huh? So 14b squared minus 23b plus 8. There's the first step. Take out the b. All right. So now, leave the b in the front. Do the 2 parentheses. We're thinking about, let me get a little room here. Think about the FOIL thing. So the b sits in the front, the 2 parentheses. Now, all right, so front times front to make 14b squared. What times what's 14? 7 and 2, right? So I'll go 7b, 2b, or 2, 7, 7, 2, whatever. The order on the first 2 matters not. Doesn't matter. But the order on the back 2 does, right? Okay, now, watch this, guys. I don't know if you reasoned through this. Watch how fast it'll help you to remember that you're never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common. No way. Other than 1 and 1, because 1 goes into every number, right? I don't mean 1. 1 goes into everything. But no other number than 1. Never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common. What am I talking about? Well, look at this 8. Last times last is 8. What times what is 8? Well, 2 times 4 or 1 times 8. It can't be 2 and 4 in any way, shape, or form. Let me show you. If you thought, well, I think it's 2, 4 like this. No way. 2 and 4 in that same parenthesis, they'd have 2 in common. Don't even waste your time putting the happy face arcs. No way. No way. Well, switch it then. Instead of 2 and 4, put the 4 here and the 2 there. No way. 2 2's in the same parenthesis. You see, this 2 in the front cannot be with a 2 or a 4 behind him. He can't be with either one of those. So that means it is not 2 and 4. See how quickly I realized that? Without ever messing around with the happy face arcs? It saves me some time. So forget it. It's not 2, 4. It's got to be 1, 8. Could it be 1, 8 like that? No, because 2 and 8, again, would have to, you could pull out a 2 in common, and we can't. We already did all the commonness before. It can't be some later. So if it is 1 and 8, then it's not 1 and 8 in that order. It'd have to be the 8 here and the 1 there. That's about the only thing that could even have a chance of working. See how that speeds you through this thing so you don't waste so much time? Make sense? That's the only thing I'm going to bother doing the happy face arcs on. Let's try it. 16b, the 2 outer, 7b. Can they make the middle? What is the middle? The middle is minus 23b. Can a 16, can you read all that scribble in there? Can a 16 and a 7 make minus 23? Yeah, if they're what? Both negative, huh? If you lose $16 and lose $7, you lost $23. That's correct. Both negative on this one. It's still true, by the way, that mantra I'm always giving you to help. Sign in the middle is the sign on the bigger. That is still true. The sign on the middle is on the bigger. He's also on the other one, but he will always be on the bigger. That will always be the case. So if that helps. Sign in the middle, sign on the bigger. Always true. Sometimes it's on both even. Is that good there? And the 2 negatives do multiply to be plus 8, don't they? It's right. All is well. How we doing? You getting the hang of these? Only got about 15 minutes left. A little over, maybe 18. Getting comfortable? There's 31 of these in the homework. There's a bunch of them on the exam next Tuesday. Okay, so 30 plus, I'm going to make that an x minus okay. All right, try that one. What's first step? Reorder and then GCF, right? So reorder. Got to put them from highest power to lowest. And then you got to take out the GCF. So now the -3 stays in the front. We think about FOIL. Front times front to be 9x squared. What should we try for 9x squared? What times what is 9x squared? 3x, 3x. I mean, it could be 9x regular x, but probably 3 times 3, right? Try the numbers closer together first. 9 and 1 is 8 apart. 3 and 3 are right on each other. So try that pair first. Probably 3x, 3x, not 9x, 1x. So 3x, 3x. All right, that does the front. Now we need the last. What times what is 10? 2 and 5, 5 and 2. The order technically doesn't matter because they're both with the 3x. Doesn't really matter. All right, is it right though? Let's try the arcs. The 2 inner 15. No signs yet. Remember, you wait for the pluses or minuses till after the happy face arcs, right? The 2 inner 15x, the 2 outer 6x. Do they make the middle, which is minus 9x? I grab that middle. Do they make the middle? Can a 15 and a 6 make a minus 9? Yeah, they can. Right? How do we do it? Sign in the middle? Bigger. Minus 15 plus 6 makes minus 9, huh? So where does the sign go? This one goes straight up. This one at the back. There we go. There it is. Questions on that? No questions? Are we good on that? Does that make sense? All's well? You guys get that one? Looks like a bad one. All right, so when we get 360 v to the third minus 702 v squared plus 324v. Painful. Painful, painful. You know, on the real test we take next Tuesday, there'll be even bigger numbers than that. No, I'm kidding. But what I am saying is that there'll be a little bit of help because the multiple choice thing, you know, take a look at the prac exam. You'll see what I mean. In fact, I could even show you. So with this one, 360, 702, those are big. I don't know. I would take my calculator and I would say, I don't know. Two, they all have a V. They all have a V. I go 2 and V. It's probably more than that. Is it 4? Is it 6? Yeah, just try dividing them all by stuff. Yeah, try something big like 6. Sounds like it's 6. So try that. Well, let me show you how. Okay, you might wonder, like, how do you know, Mr. Aaron? If you did 2, let me show you how I would know if I did 2, it wasn't enough. Let me show you that. If I did 2V as the GCF, then that would leave 180V squared. Use my calculator, just divide by 2, right? This is going to be wrong. Let me show you. What would that be? 351V. That would be 150 and 12, 162. Okay, I would look at that and I go, well, actually, it looks right to me. But 3 goes into all those. You see that? 3 goes into 180, 351. Yeah, you just got to try stuff in your calculator. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I don't have a better answer than that. Try stuff in your calculator. Turns out 6 does. So take out 6 and V. What does that leave? 60V squared minus something else I don't know. 117, thank you. V plus 74? 54. I knew that. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So there we go. There's the GCF. All right. Now, how do you know you got the whole GCF? Well, that 117, there's nothing else that goes to like 117, right? So, oh, no, there is. Oh, no, that's not it.
No, it's not.
How do we know? How do I know? Look at 117, guys. Remember the rule for 3? Do you remember the rule? What rule? If you add up a 1 plus a 1 plus a 7, you get 9. 9 is divisible by 3, so is 117. So what? Well, 54 is 9, which is divisible by 3. 66 is divisible by 3. They're all divisible by 3. So you could take another 3 out. In addition to the 6 I've already taken out, they have another 3 in common. So take that 3 out here with the 6, and they're multiplying. 3 times 6, 18. V should be what we take out. So now try 18, and try it again. Now divide them all by 18. You all seeing what I'm doing? We did the 6, and that was good, but the things I got left, I checked, and there was more in common. Is that making sense? I looked at 60, 117, and 54, and said, look, another 3 goes into all those. There's more commonness than just the 6. So pulled out that 3, times the 6 that was already out there, 18. That means, go back to the beginning now. Go back to the beginning, make this 18v, and divide them all by 18. (18v). Divide them all by 18. What are we going to get? 20 v squared minus, I don't know, what's 702? What is it? 39 v plus, and what's the next one? 18. Now, is there more? I sure hope not. Look at that 20. What goes into 20? 4 and 5. What goes into 39? 3 times 13. No, there's not. That's it. That's it. You know, I'm just thinking in my head and dividing those numbers. There's no more number that goes into all 3 of those. Am I losing y'all? Is that making sense? You just keep dividing. And so if I found more, then I would take more out. Right? If these 3, if there was something else that went into all 3 of those, like 3 went into all of them, 3 doesn't go into 20. Not evenly. Right? 2 doesn't go into all of them. 2 doesn't go into 39. Not evenly. Right? You see how I know I got it all? There's nothing more in common. There's nothing more that goes into all 3 of them. That's it. So take it from there now. Now you can do the FOIL thing. So what times what's 20? 5 and 4. 5v, 4v. What times what's 18? 6 and 3. Now, could the 6 go there and the 3 there like that? 4 and 6 cannot be in the same parenthesis. They have 2 in common, and we worked hard to get all the commonness out. There's no more commonness, right? So that can't be. So if it's 6 and 3, then the 6 has to go here and the 3 has to go there. Try it. 2 inner. Do the little happy face arcs. 24v, 15v. Can they make the middle? What's the middle? Minus 39v. Oh, yeah, both negative, huh? Both negative. That makes minus 39. Both negative. And 2 negatives do multiply to be plus 18, don't they? There it is. Look at that. We did a very hard one. It won't be that hard on the test, because you'd see that 18 sitting in front of some of the answers. You'd see what I mean? And you'd go, oh, 18. You try your calculator. Yeah, it's 18. So that's a nice help. I'm glad for you to have that help. I'm not trying to, I mean, you can all use calculators. I don't want to waste all your time guessing at numbers. That makes sense then? Woo, that was a lot of math. That was a lot of hard